ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਪੂਸੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਸੋਚੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਜੱਟ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਬਸ ਖਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਪੂਸੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਸੋਚੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਜੱਟ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਬਸ ਖਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਾਬੇ ਦੀ ਕੰਮ ਲੋਟ ਜੱਟੀਏ ਆਏ ਸਾਲ ਡੀਜਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਜੱਟ ਗੱਜਦਾ ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਫਰਕ ਬੜਾ ਫੜਕੇ ਲਫੇੜੇ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਗੀਤ ਵੱਜਦਾ ਇਹ ਬੜੇ ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਬੜਾ ਜੱਟੀਏ ਫੜਕੇ ਲਫੇੜੇ
मुस्कुरा दो एक बार मुस्कुरा दो।
गजलों की दुनिया में चलते हैं हर वेडनेसडेज को 6 to 8 PM। तो आइए शराब, शबाब और कबाब के साथ हमारे साथ सुनिए शामी गजल प्रोग्राम वेडनेसडेज 6 to 8 PM।
Oh man, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about my life, my business, and my children's education. I can't get my mind off this. But one person that comes to my mind is Mr. Arun Chum, because he is right here in our community. He's right here in our neighborhood. And he is our own Fijian brother that deals with life insurance, business insurance, and education plan for all our children's need and also our life insurance. So let's call Mr. Arun Chum at 604-506-8234.
In a world of technology, the future is online. Tune in to www.radiobulamasi.com. radiobulamasi.com.
To all our Bulamasti radio viewers and listeners, Fiji goes through natural disaster throughout the year. Let's help rebuild Fiji. Recently, some parts of Fiji has been destroyed by tropical cyclone Yasa. Please donate on the GoFundMe page. The link can be found on the website www.radiobulamasti.com or on Bulamasti Radio Facebook page. Working together with Fiji's Consulate General, Mr. Bobby Niker, and Ambassador to United Nations, Canada, USA, Mr. Satendra Prasad. Donate from anywhere in the world by simply clicking on the GoFundMe page that can be found on the website www.radiobulamasti.com or Bulamasti Radio Facebook page. Thank you in advance for helping the ones that need the help the most. Call us here at the studio for more information at 604-427-0291. Thank you.
Welcome to Radio Bulamasti. I am your host Aisha, and it's such a pleasure to have you all here with me today. You can listen to Radio Bulamasti from anywhere in the world. Just have to go onto the internet and type in www.radiobulamasti.com. And yes, this radio operates 24 hours a day. So stay tuned with us for all your current affairs, entertainment, and best programs. Today, it's a pleasure to have Mr. Bobby Niker with me. And he is the consulate, Fiji's Consulate General here in Canada. So I would like to welcome Mr. Niker to Radio Bulamasti. Mr. Niker, hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you, Aisha. And thank you to all the listeners for the pleasure of being on Bulamasti Radio. A very happy new year to all. I know that many of you, like myself, I can't wait for, well, 2020 is over now, but we can't wait to forget 2020 and welcome 2021 with renewed hope for better things to come. And then, first of all, I'd like to begin by thanking this radio station and its listeners for always stepping up to help in any natural disaster in Fiji. It is very important for us in times of needs of Fiji and other countries. Today, we're going to be talking about Cyclone Yasa, to have such great support from this radio station and its listeners.
Thank you, Mr. Naikar, and it is a pleasure working with you, your team, and also the ambassador to United Nations, Canada, USA, Mr. Satyendra Prasad as well. I know he's been working really hard in supporting during this event. So yes, we have to come together as a team. We have to work as one and help our beautiful Fiji make it beautiful again. So yes. As we know, Mr. Naikar, this cyclones happen in Fiji throughout the year, and I'm sure you've seen a lot, you've experienced quite a bit. And today, to our listeners and viewers of Bula Masti Radio, that's what we are here to talk about how Fiji gets affected. And like I said, Mr. Naikar has much more experience than I do. So I'll get Mr. Naikar to just talk a little bit about the cyclones and what goes on and how do people actually suffer.
Yeah, so Aisha, let me take you back a little bit. I know that your listeners are of different ethnic backgrounds.
That's right.
Your listeners are of different age. So let me tell you a little bit about cyclones and what causes cyclones, because I think it's very, very important to know, because this is a phenomenon that's going to continue until something is done about greenhouse gas emissions. Unfortunately, natural disasters such as Cyclone Yasa is not a stranger to the Fiji Islands, as well as the rest of the Pacific Islands. The increase in greenhouse emissions are very much responsible for rising sea levels. You've seen that throughout the Pacific, extreme fires, flooding, which is the case right now in Viti Levu, and cyclones. And the cyclones get worse and worse as the more greenhouse gas emissions occurs. It is for that reason that the government of Fiji and our Prime Minister, Honorable Bainimarama, are the voice of greater global climate change throughout the world. Recently, the UN honored Prime Minister Bainimarama with the highest award for his efforts in being the advocate for climate change. Just for an instance, the temperature has risen by 1.5 degrees in the last century. For a country such as Fiji, or countries in the Pacific where summers are already critically warm, 1.5 degree is a very big number. And again, but Honorable Bainimarama and his team have speared all their efforts in the United Nations to see if we can't mitigate some of that going forward. I know you talked about Cyclone Yasa, so let me and the devastation it's caused on Thursday, December 17th. Ground zero for the cyclone was in Bua, in the Vanua Levu. This Category 5 cyclone is amongst some of the strongest natural disasters to hit Fiji and the neighboring islands. The last time we had such a disaster was when Hurricane Winston hit our shores, and many of you will remember the havoc that cyclone caused, because I think we had rugby sevens was in Vancouver, and many of us again dug deep to help our folks in Fiji. Cyclone Yasa is described as a monster cyclone. Well-built homes that you didn't think would be destroyed by cyclones were destroyed. The eye of the storm, the red zone, has affected nearly 100,000 Fijians, destroyed 2,000 homes, and severely damaged a further 5,000 homes.
Wow.
In this red zone, hundreds of families are now housed in tents while their communities rebuilding their homes and their livelihoods. Given the scale of impact of COVID-19 on Fiji's tourism-dependent economy, many of these families have already spent lots of energy and resources in developing their farms, their food gardens, and their livestock. So you know that this devastation now has put them back severely.
Wow. You know what? I'm so glad that you touched some points on how these cyclones happen. right? We always think, oh, Mother Nature, but then there's so much more that goes on with it. Mr. Naikar, we all know we are doing fundraising, etc., and how it's going to help. Let's talk a little bit about what if we didn't help? How will the people suffer? I mean, we are very fortunate that we had the luxury. We have the luxury here, or we had someone here in Canada that sponsored us. We came to Canada. We migrated from Fiji somehow. Yes, life is all not rosy here in overseas Canada, but still, we are very fortunate to have what we have. So, if we were to not help, what would our people, and when I say our people, I'm not saying our families, doesn't matter what nationality, color they are, to me they are all one. So if we did not help Fiji in general, what is going to happen?
Yes, great question. I think what happens is, those who were born in Fiji, I was born in Fiji, so I remember some of the devastation. I remember Hurricane Bibi. Now, Hurricane Bibi by no means was a cyclone, but I remember a corrugated iron roof flying all over the place. We had furniture flying, houses losing their structure. But we were kids, so we thought it was kind of fun, but it wasn't fun. It's not fun when you have to rebuild not just your homes, but your whole country. And
Very true.
Being from Fiji, we maybe appreciate that we need to help. And as the generations, the second generation, third generation Fijians or kids of Fijians or grandkids of Fijians, they probably don't know what that devastation means. They go to Fiji, they go to a tourist area.
Yes, yeah. It's all fun for us when we go
it's all
back
fun
now.
for us, right?
Yes.
So if we don't take this seriously and help, this devastation. So we're talking about rebuilding. I know there's some funds being raised and some funds were sent to Fiji, and I hear people saying, "Oh, okay, well, we've already sent the money. It's done. The cyclone's over with, and we're done."
We've fed the people for now, right? By sending the money, we've fed the people. We've taken care of them for now, like for this instant.
Exactly. The next stage, which is as critical or more critical, is the rebuilding of Fiji. As I said, Fiji is dependent on tourism, and if we don't get the country back in shape, we don't get electricity, we don't get drains cleaned out, we don't get our infrastructure back, that's going to affect tourism. Because and if we lose tourism, we don't have anything else. And so
true.
I urge everyone to dig deep. I know sometimes we think, well, boy, what's $5? If I can only contribute $5 or $20 or $100, how much impact is that going to make? Again, that's a fallacy. $5 times 1,000 people is a lot of money, and $5 Canadian goes a lot further in Fiji than it does in Canada. So please don't go to our FundMe page. It's Cyclone Yasa Recovery in Fiji, and donate as much as you can, as little as you can afford. Nothing is too little, nothing is too much. Because every penny will help get schools back. We've got now 80 schools that have been devastated. Kids are already suffering from the pandemic. Now they can't go to school. They don't have books, pencils, etc., etc.
And those kids are our future. And so if we're only thinking about now, and I'm so glad that you came up with this idea of raising funds to help rebuild Fiji. We are investing in now and our future. So I personally think that it is a very, very good opportunity for us, our people, and not just Fijians. Anyone that's listening to this radio, please help. And Mr. Naikar from Bula Masti radio side, you have our full support, and we have the GoFundMe page or the link set up on the website www.radiobulamasti.com, also on Bula Masti Radio Facebook page, so people can go in, click, and it's so simple. It is so simple. You just click on that link. And thank you again for having this this platform, this GoFundMe set up, so people can just go click on that link, click on donate, put your name there, put your credit card information, and then you submit. And if you don't want to be known, you can put your name as you don't want your name to be shown to the public. So very, very simple. Again, there's a lot of organizations that have raised the funds. They have already donated. We want to thank them as well. But this platform that we have set up right now, the GoFundMe page, Mr. Naikar, how else can people find that page? I'm sure you have your team working on this as well. There are sites they can go on to.
Yes. So if you would to click on to Cyclone Yasa recovery in Fiji on the GoFundMe page, it'll open up. The great thing about the GoFundMe page is that in this day and age of the pandemic, nobody wants to go to the bank.
That's right.
And people are maybe frankly embarrassed to go to the bank to deposit $5 into an account. People, the volunteers don't want to go to homes and collect money. Those days are gone. So the GoFundMe page is painless and it's very translucent, so very transparent. Anyone go. So if you put $10 in, $5, $20, you can go click on and see that donation right posted on the page. You can see others that have donated. You can see anonymous donors. You can see the amounts grow. I look at it every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, because I'm really anxious to see how we're doing and how we can do better.
I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I'm gonna drive myself crazy looking at this page every few minutes. Is there more donations coming in? It is exciting, and on the other hand, it is great to see that how our community is actually coming through and passing the message. And I see that this link has been shared by so many people. So I just want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you that are already doing so much towards helping rebuild Fiji. So yes, it is exciting. And it's good to see that we are all coming together in this and trying to represent Canada and make us Fijians be proud living in Canada. And the good thing is this GoFundMe page, people can go and donate from anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
So there's no limit.
And the other thing is we'll know exactly what the total is at the when we've completed our project. It'll be again on the very transparent on the page, so everyone will know how much we've raised. That money will go to the Prime Minister's fund in Fiji, and it'll be distributed to Fijians all over the country, from Vanuatu to Viti Levu. They've allocated fund. As a matter of fact, the Fiji government has set it up this time where if we collect a certain amount of money, we can say 50% goes towards food in this area. I want 25% of the money to go to a shelter. I want 25% to go to rebuilding schools. So they've made it. Fiji government has made it very transparent as well, so that every Fijian, whatever their background, has access to that money, and they're going to be very transparent. They're going to send out reports to us of how that money has been spent. So really excited that they're doing all the right things, and the folks here are doing all the right things.
And I'm just so glad to hear, Mr. Naikar, that we are at least given the opportunity to have a say in where the money is going to go to. But like, I'm using myself as an example. I'm living here in Canada. I know, I hear from people what the challenges are, what people are going through, but I'm not living there to live what they are living. So I personally want to leave it in the hands of the professionals, the government out there, to distribute this is just my opinion, to distribute how they see it's needed. it is hard for us to manage a household, let alone managing a country. And when I was in Fiji 27 years ago, that's when I migrated to Canada, from how Fiji was then to what Fiji has become now. All the rules, restrictions, the benefits people have, women's right, children's right. And I'm just so proud to say that I am proud of how far Fiji has come. So Mr. Naikar, I want to thank you as well, because I know you're directly related to the working directly with the government of Fiji. Thank you so much for everything that you have done, because I have left my nieces and nephews, my family in Fiji, that have a better place to live in than what I had. So this is why when I was approached on behalf of Radio Bula Masti, I did not hesitate to jump in and help in this cause. And I urge our Bula Masti listeners, our viewers, through different communities, please come out. And like Mr. Naikar said, if you can only afford to give $5, give $5. And the other thing is, I know there are some people that are a bit hesitant, or they are not comfortable using the internet. Please come to the Bula Masti studio, give me a call. And what I can do is take that cash from you. I can use my credit card. I can put that money into the GoFundMe account and then print you a receipt right away. I can show you that your money has gone into the GoFundMe page. And just to reassure that Bula Masti Radio is not charging a penny towards this, because Mr. Naikar, what I feel is people right now during this pandemic, they are donating the money they cannot afford.
Yes, exactly.
So please, when you are giving any donation, myself here, Bula Masti team is not going to charge a penny. Whatever we are giving, donating time, airtime, whatever it is all a donation from Bula Masti. So I'm glad to hear that Mr. Naikar, you're involved in this. And once again, the main question that comes up is, where is the money going to go to, and how is this getting distributed?
Yes, and Fiji has a very great system of how they're going to distribute the money, or allocate the funds. So not so much the money, because they allocate the funds would be food, would be clothing, it'll be books and pencils, would be rebuilding the infrastructure. Farmers have lost their livestock, have lost their livelihood. So I think that you'll see that when the report comes back from the Fiji government, that the funds are coming from all over the world, New Zealand, Australia,
Yes.
US, England. I mean, I hear stories of individuals giving money, companies giving money, and we're talking to some of our own politicians to see if we can urge the Canadian government, the local, the federal government to maybe participate. So we're trying everything. And one of the things that our Prime Minister said is that Fijians are resilient. This will not get them down. I mean, look at what the country has done with the pandemic. We're probably one of the safest countries in the world to live in.
Yes.
And when this is over with, and tourists can go back to Fiji, that tourists, I can't wait to get back to Fiji, and other tourists, because they're gonna know that Fiji is safe.
Yes. And you know what? Sometimes I see videos and stuff of people having parties and stuff, and I think twice. And then I realize, no, that's Fiji. They're not going through what we're going through here, pandemic, and the virus is just so out of control right now. So once again, a lot of kudos to the government of Fiji for making the decisions they have made to make it a safe place for our people. So once again, Mr. Naikar, I know you're quite busy. Thank you so much for taking your time out today and coming on this platform. And like you said, we are in this together, and we want to help rebuild our Fiji together. So I want to take this opportunity and thank you. But if you have any more last words, if you have anything else you want to add, you're most welcome.
I just want to say I appreciate given the opportunity to be on your show today. and to spread the message. I appreciate you spreading the message. I appreciate your listeners who are tuned in. Hopefully they'll hang up now and go to the FundMe page and donate, so that I'll give it an hour and go back and look again and see if that needle has risen. The one thing is that we can all watch that needle rise.
Yes.
Get up in the morning, go to the GoFundMe page, and you know that you've had something to do with that needle going up and up and up, and it's exciting. So those are my final thoughts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Naikar. It definitely is a good feeling when I see it go up, and it's like, okay, so we have raised over 7,000, 6,000 now. Who else can I contact? Let's do some more announcement on the radio so we can keep that pot growing. So yes, it is exciting, even though it is said that what's happening in Fiji, but you know, we can do this, we can help each other while having fun. So we can keep going on and on about this, Mr. Naikar. Thank you so much once again, and we will talk to you very, very soon. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stay tuned to RadioBulamasti.com. I am your host, Aisha.
In a world of technology, the future is online. Tune in to www.radiobulamasti.com. RadioBulamasti.com.
Hola.